What's up and welcome to another YouTube video. My name is Eddie and I am still addicted to Marvel Snap, and it's time for another video where I show you guys some decks that might help you reach infinite. Now, as you guys probably already know from one of my previous videos, we have already hit infinite. I've been donating cubes ever since. That's my whole thing. So if you ever see me in the ladder, make sure to do the Spider-Man point, say hello, and then snap, and I'll snap back and I'll give you all 8 cubes. That's my rule. I don't care anymore. I've hit infinite. So if you ever see me, my name is Eddie A. in Snap, make sure Spider-Man point, hello, and I'll snap and I'll give you the cubes. I don't care anymore. That's the whole point. But outside of that, I still like to try out new decks and see which ones are good and which ones are bad. And today I have a combo to show you guys. This came from the Discord that I'm in. So our Discord, sorry. So let me make this clear. As I said in the last video, I am not a deck builder. All I'd like to do is steal other people's content and make sure that you guys get some really cool combos. So this is actually some of my viewers from our Twitch chat in our Discord shared some of their combos. I tried them out, I tweaked them a little bit to my preference, and I'll get to show you guys the way that I like to play them and stuff like that. But as always, if you're trying to hit infinite, the most important thing to remember is, number one, to remember when to snap and when to retreat. It does not matter which deck you're playing. You could be making your own deck, but if you are comfortable in getting to know when to snap and when to retreat, that's what's going to get you to infinite. The decks are helpful, of course, but as you guys probably saw, there are so many content creators making so many videos, making so many different deck showcases, and quite honestly, I don't think any of them are bad. They're all great. You just have to get comfortable with a specific deck style, right? And then from there, snap and retreat at the right moments so that you can gain as many cubes as you can. The next thing is, I kind of just said it, is getting comfortable with a deck. I'll be honest right here, movement, not my thing. Anytime I play a movement deck, I always lose. It doesn't matter if someone gives me the best movement deck ever, I can't pull it off. So you guys will all probably also have your own preferences as to which decks you are comfortable with or not comfortable with, and you just got to play that same deck over and over and over again until you feel like you could really pull off the best combo with that deck. So those are two really important things to talk about, to learn before you try and hit infinite. Now, the final thing I want to say, and this has been also mentioned many times, that it's not the end of the world if you don't hit infinite. Make sure you are having fun. If you are very upset and getting angry while playing the game, take a break. That's the most important thing as well. Take a break and come back. Yes, we all want to hit infinite, but it is still a video game. You got to make sure you're having fun with it. If you're not having fun, take a break and then come back to the game. All right, now that that's all out of the way, let's talk real quickly about the decks here. So I actually, funny enough, it's not really a deck that I want to talk to you guys about. It's a combo called it's the Psylocke wave combo. So we called it, as one of my viewers called it, the PsyWave combo. So Stube, if you're watching, you came up with the name, this is all yours. The PsyWave combo. So the idea behind this is that you're going to be able to play Psylocke and Wave as the combo to give you an advantage on the final turn to play extra cards, whereas your opponent has a disadvantage of only playing one card, which means that you can do the 2-set combo of cards on the final turn. So I'll show you guys what I mean. So this first deck right over here, you'll see here, this is kind of like, you could really replace any of these cards with whatever you want. The key ones to this deck are Wong, Psylocke, and Wave, and then whatever 2 cards that you want to combo at the end. So in this case, we've got Black Panther and Zola as that combo. Here's how you're going to pull it off. On turn 4, you play Wong in a specific location, which means on turn 5, you are going to play Wave somewhere else, which makes all your cards on the next turn cost 4 for both you and your opponent, which means that if it's turn 6, you each have 6 energy. However, all the cards cost 4, which means that you each can only play 1 card. But what you do is you play the Psylocke onto your Wong, which means that Psylocke's going to give you +1 energy, but because the Wong gets doubled. So that means that on turn 6, you will have 8 power, and your opponent still has only his 6, which means that on turn 6, you can play 2 cards, and your opponent can only play 1. And in this case, that means you could pull off Black Panther and Arnim Zola in the same turn, which is absolutely insane. So you play Black Panther, which will double from 4 to 8. In the same lane, you play the Arnim Zola on top of the Black Panther. So your Zola is going to destroy him and make 2 Black Panthers. And then both of those Black Panthers will double from 8 to 16. So you've now added 16 power to 2 lanes in one turn, and your opponent can only actually play one card, which is probably only going to be whatever his final card is, but it's only one because it's a 4-cost card. This combo is insane. It's very rare that I've seen people try the Psylocke Wave combo before. It is tricky, of course, because you have to pull the right cards in the right order. So, of course, you need to have Wong before turn 4, but then you need Psylocke and Wave by turn 5. But, like I said, the rest of this deck, this is the deck that Stube, one of our viewers, like I said, was using. You could replace any of these cards with any other card, and it still works. The key component of it is to make sure you have your final turn, and your final turn can really be a mix of anything else. In this case, it is Black Panther and Artem Zola. But another example that you could pull off with this combo that's almost just as good would be Odin right over here with, where is he? Dr. Doom. So you could play on the same turn. On turn 6, you play your Dr. Doom, and he pits 5 across the board, or 15 across the board, because he has himself and 2 other Doom bots that go to the other lane. And you play the Odin, on top of the Dr. Doom. So the one lane now has 13 power because of Odin and Dr. Doom, and the other 2 lane got plus 10 power because you played 2 Doom bots in both of those lanes. This combo is insane, guys, and I don't know why not enough more people are playing it. You can again change it and play any 2 sets of cards. The Def Wave combo you guys have probably seen, where people destroy a bunch of cards and play Aero and Def on the final turn. You could do it without destroying any cards. If you really wanted to, you could play Aero and Def right in this deck, and you don't have to have all the destruction at the start of the deck. You could play any other combo and still pull off the Wave Def combo, or not Wave, the Aero and Def combo, and you can really combo this with any other card. Like I said, this is a very, very good deck here. You could play Devil Dino with something else. You could play Ronin with who else? Maximus on the final turn. Like, there's a lot of different combos here that you could pull off on the final turn. I can't speak anymore. Just because of the Wong, Wave, and Psylocke, which are all the other turns before. Again, like I said, the rest of these cards really doesn't matter. You can mix and match whatever you want to pull this off. You can see here that the idea that this guy was going for was an on-reveal deck using the Wong as a backup to the Psylocke Wave. But once again, you can change it up however you'd like. Now, this PsyWave combo here actually also works in a different way. This is another version of it with a Hela Discard deck. This is another insane one. So this one, I built it myself. Or sorry, that's not true. I found it online, but I modified it to something a little bit more different. If you don't have Wong, so that means that you can't do the double Psylocke. Here's a different version you could do it using Magic. So on turn 5, you play Magic. Then on turn 6, you play Wave and Psylocke, and that means that on turn 7, you've got the same combo of 8 power on turn 7 because of the 1 Psylocke, and all your cards cost 4 because of Wave, which also limits your opponent. So this combo works without Wong and instead with Magic, so you have 2 different ways of pulling this off. The cool thing with this one is that the way we built this one is that this now lets you play MODOK and Hela on the final turn together. So you could almost skip everything else. You could play the Psylocke early and just give him a bunch of energy, play a Magic on turn 5, play Wave and Psylocke on turn 6, and then turn 7, you MODOK your hand, and Hela respawns everything in the same turn. That is insane. So this is a really cool way of using MODOK and Hela together, because not a lot of people are able to pull it off, considering that most of the time, if you have MODOK in your hand, you probably also have the Hela. It's kind of tricky to play the MODOK, destroy your hand, and keep the Hela in your hand. But in this case, this lets you play both of them in the same turn, which means that with the deck that I built right over here, I've got Captain Marvel, She-Hulk, Magneto, oh god, I removed them, Giganto, and Infinite, and they're all being spawned in the final turn together. You've also got a Maximus in there just because he's so high power. So, of course, there are counters to these decks. You got to be careful with this deck because you can get countered by a Cosmo, but the cool thing is, one of the biggest meta decks right now is the Aero, right? Def Wave Aero is one of the big combos right now. If Aero wants to pull away your MODOK and Hela to a different lane, who cares? This deck counters that because your MODOK doesn't matter and your Hela is just going to spawn everything across the board. The version I had found online had different cards in it. One of the key ones that wasn't in this deck that I think if you have, you should put in is Captain Marvel, because I really love the combo of Hela with Captain Marvel, because Captain Marvel will always be spawned, And because Hela spawning stuff in random locations, Captain Marvel can be that game changer of crap. Yes, I spawned all these cards, but if you get Giganto and Infinite in the same lane, you win that lane, but that also doesn't spread your energy equally. Captain Marvel can be that game changer. So if you have Captain Marvel, she's really good with this deck. Once again, though, this deck, you can replace it with anything you want. But as long as you have Psylocke and Wave and Magic, or again, the same thing works if you put Wong in there instead of Magic. Both of them work really, really well. And then once again, this one has MODOK, which is the Season Pass card. So it's not free to play friendly, but if any of you guys bought the Season Pass, MODOK is really fun to play with this deck using Hela as well. Very, very fun combo here. And all of these top tier cards here, like Infinite, Giganto, Magneto, She-Hulk, those are my preferences. You could put any of the big cost cards in there. You could easily replace them with Hulk, Helicarrier works, Def works in there, Chavez, Odin, not Ultron. Ultron doesn't work in this. Heimdall, Red Skull, any of the big energy cost cards, they all work with this deck over here. So, I basically showed you guys two different ways of using Wave and Psylocke as a combo, aka the PsyWave combo, using either Magic or Wong. And like I said, I really want to leave you guys to get creative with this. You could build anything from there. You have those 2-3 cards, and then you just do a final big push on that final turn. Man, even like Morbius and MODOK would work really good as that final turn. You play Morbius in one location, MODOK in another, destroys your whole hand. Morbius just gets that high energy. There's a lot of options there. If you have Darkhawk, Mystique, you could pull that off on the final turn as well. There's a lot there, guys, that you could pull off thanks to this combo here. So don't sleep on the Psylocke and Wave combo. Now, those were two different variants of that. I do want to show you guys a completely different deck. This is from another friend of mine who shared this deck with us, and I played it on my last stream, and it was so much fun. It is a deck that you do have to play a lot to get consistent with. However, this deck is completely free to play friendly. So the friend of mine that did this has not spent a single penny on this game. No season pass cards, no anything like that. This is all free to play. Mostly pool 1 to 3. I don't think there's no pool 4 card in this deck. So this is another really fun combo you could do here. I called it the Kingpin deck because I think Kingpin is like the main deck card of this deck. Sorry. He called the no turn 6 for your opponent deck is what he called it. So the idea behind this is you're gonna play Rescue on 4. Sarah on top of the Rescue on 5. So that means that your Rescue has now become a 9 power card plus your Sarah, so you have 13 power in that lane. You can play some of your stronger cards at the start of the like turn 1 to 3 to kind of get control over the deck. And then the idea is that if you have the lead, Sarah makes all your cards cost 1 less, which means your Aero now costs 4 and Kingpin costs 2. You can play Kingpin and Aero in the same lane together, and then it doesn't matter what cards your opponent plays on turn 6, they don't reveal. If you guess correctly, you play Kingpin, Aero, shuffle all the cards into that lane, and Kingpin destroys all of them. Your opponent's cards never reveal. He doesn't get a turn 6. It is so fun to pull off. Another combo, if you don't have the Aero, you can go Kingpin with Juggernaut, so you play them in 2 different lanes. You play Kingpin in one, Jug in another. Jug hits all of them. They land into Kingpin's lane. They all get destroyed. You also have the backup of Magneto or Polaris if you want to do that as well, where you could pull off Magneto, pull all the cards over, and Kingpin destroys all of them. Or same idea with Polaris if he has like a really high sunspot or anything like that into the Kingpin. This deck is super fun to do because of the Kingpin. And then the rest of the cards here are all kind of a mix. So the Rocket Raccoon is very much not key to this deck. He's a really good 1 to 4 energy if you guess correctly, so that's why he's in there, but you can replace him with any other 1 cost card. Same with Quake. Quake can easily be replaced with anything else. Quake is really there to help with the position, like the location stuff. So depending if you have a featured location or hot location that you're not a fan of, Quake can help you with that. It's a little trickier to pull off, but also a little bit more consistent than, let's say, a Scarlet Witch, because you're not replacing it with something completely random. You're just shifting whatever's already on the board. So Quake could be really helpful with that, but again, easily replaceable. Lizard is in there because of the high energy, so high power for the low cost energy. Once again, easily replaceable. Jug is key because you want to be shifting their opponent. You're just trying to control the deck by shuffling everything out of place for them. Kingpin is the key to this deck. Polaris, Magneto, Aero, like I said, are all there for the movement control. Sarah is really important to this because she's going to make all your cards cost cheaper, and so is Rescue's to high power again, but you could replace her with Jessica Jones if you don't have her, as she's just 1 energy less, but also means she's not afraid of a Shang-Chi. And then you have Shang-Chi as a tech card. Once again, I always talk about you want to have a tech card in your deck. It doesn't have to be Shang-Chi. It could be Enchantress. It could be anything that you think is the most important to you with whatever you're facing off against in the ladder at the moment. So if you're seeing a lot of Patriot decks, put in Enchantress, for example. So Shang-Chi is really good. And Absorbing Man is there because he can copy the on reveal, so that gives you a lot of options as to what you want him to copy, and you can kind of juke a lot of them. I actually had a really fun one where I played Kingpin. I played Kingpin because I didn't pull the Sarah Rescue. After playing Kingpin, I played Aero, on turn 5, which moved everything over to 1 lane, and then I Absorbing Man my Aero to pull them all back into the Kingpin on turn 6. So that was really fun, because if they see the Aero come out, they're not afraid anymore of your Kingpin. Then you surprise them with an Absorbing Man. Really fun way of doing it. Another really cool one, if you really wanted to, you could put in a Zabu in there if you wanted to make this with a Season Pass card, because Zabu could make your 4 cost cards cost 1 cheaper. There's a lot of things you could do here. If you ever find Onslaught Citadel and you double your Sarah, double the ongoing, which means your Sarah makes everything cost 2 less. That's a really good one. Now, really quickly before I forget about this deck, there is something that I tried that I thought would work that didn't work, so I want to let you guys know now. You cannot do Juggernaut, Kingpin, and Aero in the same turn. I know, I thought it would work, but it didn't. I'll give you guys the example. You play Jug, Kingpin, and Aero all in the same turn because of the double ongoing of Sarah. Makes your Juggernaut cost 1, Kingpin cost 1, and then your Aero cost 3, so you could play all of them. I tried it and it did not work. If you play Jug and it shifts, like in the first lane, let's say, left lane. You play Jug, it pushes them all away. Kingpin reveals, and then Aero pulls all of them back. It doesn't work. Apparently, cards can only get shifted once. So if you play Jug or Aero, you can't play both on the one set of cards. Like, they won't be moved and moved back. So good for you guys to know that, because I didn't know, and it broke my heart because I thought it was a really fun combo. It didn't work out. So those are all the decks I wanted to show you guys today. We had the PsyWave combo. We had the Hela Discard with MODOK all in 1 turn. And we've got this free-to-play Kingpin deck. So lots of options there for you guys. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, make sure to give it a thumbs up and comment down below if you guys enjoy this. I don't normally like to do these, but if you guys enjoy deck breakdowns like this, let me know in the comments below so that I can continue doing it. Make sure to join me on Twitch. Within Twitch, we could then join us on Discord, where we all share our deck combos like this all the time. So that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to say about these decks, but no, I think that's everything. I just got Darkhawk, so I'm trying out some Darkhawk decks, so maybe I could show you guys a video of that in the future as well. If you haven't seen my previous video where I talked about the Electro Ramp, Thanos Valkyrie deck and all that, I'll make sure that's all linked in the description below. And I'll make sure as well, I mentioned this in the last comment video, last video's comments, someone asked to put the link towards these decks. I'll put those in the description as well, so you guys can just copy paste them and then just replace any card. As always, if you are missing any of these cards, let me know in the comments. I'll help you rebuild any cards that you're missing with what's the best card to replace them. But have a lot of fun with PsyWave, man. You guys could do a lot of really cool things with these. These are just a couple examples. You could pull off any kind of really good final turn combos thanks to the Psylocke wave, while also limiting your opponent. Alrighty, I'm just rambling on now, so I'm going to end the video. Have a good rest of your day. Take care. Bye-bye.